All right, good morning, traders. Today is July 29th, 2024. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody in Digital Land, for subscribing to my channels or to my groups. Appreciate that. Thank you. My SPY pivot this morning is 543.20. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. IWM and Diamond Dow remain in uptrends, while SPY, QQQ, FNGU are all in downtrends. SPY, QQQ, and FNGU made inside days, closing under the 17 EMAs. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend, just barely at the last minute. It's more like a 2-hour bullish cross. SPY also closed with a 10-minute uptrend. Again, it's more like a 10-minute bullish cross. Both are still under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Both Diamond Dow and IWM made higher highs and higher lows, both closing above bullish traps in 17 EMAs. Gold remains in an uptrend. Gold made a higher high and a higher low, closing inside a bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. Silver, still now in a downtrend, made an inside day, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. UNG, still in a downtrend, made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. USO, also still in a downtrend, made an inside day, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. US dollar index in a downtrend still, closing near the 104.30 area and continuing with the bear flag pattern. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. All right, so here's yesterday's candle for SPY. Got kind of an inside day, lower high, higher low, closing inside above bearish trap, but underneath the 17 EMA. On the 2-hour time frame, okay, you can see we have the yellow crossing over right there, kind of like at the last hour. But SPY got a closed with a bullish trap, more like a bullish cross than it is a bullish trap on the 2-hour. On the 10-minute, you can see right here at the end of the day, they had a little pullback. And at the last 10 minutes, you can see they put in a bullish cross there as well on SPY. To make a note of it, all right, so we made a low, then we made a lower high, then we made a higher low, not by much, okay, higher low, more like a double bottom, but we made a higher low, not by much, and we failed to make the higher high right here. Pulled back so far this morning with the price action, we have a higher low. I'm looking for a higher high, preferably up to the point where this gap right there starts. That'd be right about 549.34. We'll see how far it gets, but that's where I'm picturing the first target to be. If they hit it early, pull back, test this minor support, they could see themselves coming up here and trying to fill gap. We'll see what happens with SPY. All right, let's go back to the daily charts and take a look at some of the other indexes. First index we'll take a look at QQQ. QQQ, again, another inside day, same thing, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA, still in a downtrend. SPY, still in a downtrend. FNGU, inside day, right here, lower high, lower low, higher low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA, so still consolidating there. FNGU, inside day, still in a downtrend. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow in an uptrend, made a higher low and a higher high, making another higher low, looking for the higher high. Diamond Dow, price action for Friday, higher low, higher high, closing over, bullish cross, over the 17 EMA, still in an uptrend. IWM. All right, IWM, price action for yesterday is higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. So you can see in the pre-market, we're up here kind of challenging that 2-year high that we made a couple weeks ago. So there's IWM in an uptrend, higher lows, definitely higher highs, another higher low, looking for them to make that next higher high. On the technicals, T2122, we spent the day mostly in the buy zone right here. This would be the 26th. You can see we produced a higher low, made a higher high, did another higher low, and just kind of traded around right inside the buy zone today. I don't think we get up in the overbought zone today. I doubt it seriously. I think we just stay in the buy zone. We'll see what happens. T2123, Friday's price action. You can see it was almost a green day the whole day except for one candle right here. Looks like a VWAP pullback, and then again back up to challenge those highs. If you look at this candle, all right, that is new all-time highs for T2123. So great work on the NYSE producing new all-time highs for T2123. Here's T2123 3 bar. It's going to be the same thing, new all-time highs. Putting in 3 more green bars or 3 more green candles. FNGU. FNGU is the one that pretty much moves the other 2 indexes, and I'm talking about SPY and QQQ. FNGU, yesterday's price action. You can see right here, we spent a lot of time under VWAP, very little over it, and some more time right at VWAP. So all in all, just kind of sitting on here on support at 380.25. Still haven't transitioned over that falling 200 SMA. Need to get that done. Hopefully we get that done. We've got a triple bottom here. Maybe it's time to get that done today. We'll see what happens. There's FNGU. Could see a bullish day after inside days on Friday for SPY and QQQ. So hopefully we get a transition out of those downtrends and start to kind of melt up. Hopefully, we'll see. So there's FNGU. Let's go back and take a look at some of our sectors. Start off with energy, USO first. USO in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows, lower high, lower low. Yesterday's price action, inside day, right there, higher low, higher low, lower high, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA. Still in a downtrend, right there. So SPY, QQQ, and energy still in a downtrend. Take a look at UNG, also still in a downtrend. And the price action for Friday was a new all-time low for Friday here on UNG with a lower high and lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA. So new all-time low for UNG. Let's take a look at silver and gold. Silver in a downtrend since it broke this low right here. Silver's price action yesterday, kind of an inside day, higher low, higher low, lower high, closing underneath the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. So silver still in a downtrend. Gold also, no, gold is in an uptrend, remains in an uptrend. Gold price action yesterday, higher low, higher high, closing inside the bearish trap but underneath the 17 EMA. So there's silver and gold. We just did energy. Let's take a look at SMH. All right, nice to have SMH on our side, but we don't. SMH in a downtrend ever since it broke this low, made a new lower low. Here's price action for yesterday, inside day, Friday. That's Friday, got an inside day, lower high, higher low, closing under bearish trap under the 17 EMA. I'm going to go out on a limb and say XLK is going to look pretty much like that. And XLK inside day, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. SMH and XLK, which is technology sector, semiconductors and technology, both still in downtrends. XLF, there's a financial sector. Financial sector putting in higher lows and higher highs and another higher low. Need to see the next higher high. Yesterday's price action, Higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap over the 17 EMA. XLF still in an uptrend. IWM still in an uptrend. Diamond Dow still in an uptrend. XLI, here's the industrials, still in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs, making another higher low, back up here, attacking the highs. Yesterday's price action for the industrial sector, higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap over the 17 EMA. One more left, IYT, that's our transports. It would really help us out a lot if the transports would get a little bit more bullish, okay? But Friday's price action, let me make sure I got the right candle, is this red one right here, looking like an inside day, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. So transport still in an uptrend till they break this low right here. Okay, once they break this low at 63.50, they go back into a downtrend. Right now, they're in an uptrend, not doing a very good job of holding that uptrend. No bull flag, almost got a mountaintop right there. Okay, more like a middle finger. Okay, so it's not looking good for the transports right there. All right, let's take a look at some of our economic numbers for this week. Let's start off with the calendar. See what we got here. Monday looking like a light day, nothing happening there. Tuesday be the end of the month. All right, Tuesday we got FOMC meeting begins. Case-Shiller Home Price Index 9 o'clock. FHFA Home Price Index also at 9 o'clock. Consumer Confidence 10. Jolts also at 10. Other than that, that's it. Wednesday, what do we got? MBA mortgage application, ADP employment report, Treasury refunding announcement. I don't see too many of those, but that could be interesting. Employment cost index at 8:30. Don't see too many of those either. Chicago PMI at 9:45. Pending home sales index at 10. We got a petroleum report at 10:30 as always. And I think the main event this week is the FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. and then the presser at 2:30. So Wednesday is the main event this week, and we could have some big earnings along with it. We'll cover Thursday and Friday when we get closer to those. Let's go take a look at the earnings while we're talking about it. Today, McDonald's is going to report this morning, $181 billion. Look like Sumitomo's still looking for the P&L. Welltower, $64 billion. Not going to move the market. It's going to report tonight. Tuesday, I think we got somebody big. Yeah, Microsoft, $3 trillion, along with Advanced Micro Device, that's $226 billion. They're going to report tomorrow evening. Microsoft is capable of moving the markets. All right, so you see a whole lot of volatility priced in those indexes come Tuesday evening going into the close. Also Tuesday, but in the morning time, we've got $399 billion. That's from Procter & Gamble. Merck, $317 billion in the morning. Pfizer, $174 billion. SP Global, $153 billion. Stryker Corp and Rio Tinto and Arista all going to report in the evening along with Microsoft and AMD. Let's take a look at the next day. We'll go to Wednesday. Meta is going to report after the close. There's another $1 trillion there. 1 trillion, almost 200 billion. All right, MasterCard, $407 billion. They're going to report at the open on Wednesday, whereas Meta's going to report at the close. T-Mobile also reporting at the open, $205 billion. Qualcomm, $200 billion. They're going to report with Meta after the close. ARM Holdings, 153 billion. Lam Research, 116 billion. Boeing, 114 billion. KKR, 105 billion. And ADP, 103 billion. So a lot more market cap coming in later this week. Tuesday, got a big market cap with Meta. Big market cap with Microsoft. Wednesday, big market cap with Meta. Okay, both of those big ones are going to be reporting after the close. Let's take a look at Thursday, see what we got there. Apple's going to report. Yeah, another $3 trillion. Amazon, almost $2 trillion. They're going to report. Both of those after the close. All 3 days, the markets should see high volatility going into the close due to the market cap that's going to be reporting numbers. All of these, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, could move the markets big time in the evening hours and cause the markets to change direction or continue further in the same direction or just consolidate. We'll see what happens. But they will, how am I going to say it? They're going to exacerbate whatever's going on. All right, they're going to. It's like putting it at a higher multiple of what's going on. So let's take a look at Friday. Friday, like day, Berkshire is going to report. Between the two Berkshires, we got A and B, and they're still assembling the P&L. So there's about $2 billion, close to $2 billion. 1,800 billion between the two of them, a little bit more. All right, so that's going to report. As soon as they find the P&L, we'll see when they want to do that. ExxonMobil, $463 billion. Chevron, $290 billion. Lindy, $212 billion. So we got the energy. It's going to report in the morning. I can't even say if these are going to report in the morning or in the evening, or maybe they just might do it during market hours. We'll see what happens there with Berkshire Hathaway. Monday, what do we got here? We've got CSX, I believe that's railroads, $65 billion, and Platinier at $59 billion. Both of them are important, familiar names, not going to move the markets, not like Microsoft, Meta, or Apple, okay? Not like those. Let's take a look at Max Payne for today. All right, Max Payne for today, the 29th, is 545. That should be pretty much where we're at right now. Shouldn't be hard to hit 545. I think we're right there right now. Put to call ratio, less than 1 put for every call. So could be another inside day. Waiting for the big cap earnings coming in later tomorrow evening. So we'll see what happens with that. So take a look at US dollar index. It's getting bullish right here. Closed on Friday right around the 104.30 area. Not liking this. US dollar index still in a downtrend, still in a bear flag pattern. So we'll see. I'd like to see that drop. All right. Haven't seen it drop at all ever since made this bullish engulfing candle. So I'll take questions in the room. If there's no questions, then I'm going to go ahead and render my video. All right. And when I take orders here in the SPY, you know, I put my pivot in. I think you guys know this, all right? I put my pivot in. I go to my 10-minute chart, all right? And I tell you, like right here, hey, first entry, all right? Price is currently in a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. I'm looking for, here's the pivot, okay, or over the pivot. I'm looking for my first price entry. That would be green erasing red. And you can see how I map it out right there. That would be the first entry. Second entry right there. Next green candle to be erased. That would be the second entry. Fourth right there. Third, as price comes back up, all right, those would be the fourth and fifth as we erase these red candles. So that's red erases green right there. So price comes in, and I'm looking for, green erases red. So green erases red over the pivot. That's an entry right there. Now when I enter, all right, I don't go all in all the time. It all depends on how fast the market's moving. If the market's moving fast, I might have to hit the ask and just get filled at whatever it is. I tend to buy a little bit as the market breaks up over it. And undoubtedly, every time I buy, price drops probably 2 to 3 minutes later. All right? Which causes me to have to kind of double down to bring my cost average down. All right? So if I'm going to buy 10 contracts, I might pick up 2 as it crosses over, probably 4 more as it pulls back in the first candle or the second candle, and I keep adding contracts as price dips lower and lower. You got that excitement burst in your option, and you'll see that the ask moves way up in price, especially if it's a call. All right, and they kind of they put a whole lot of premium in it because it's a 10-minute uptrend and it's green erases red. They know it as well as we do, so they add in a whole lot more. They remove some of that intrinsic value that was there. All right, so they price in a whole lot more volatility. All right, so just be careful, but that's how I enter. All right, I do a couple. As it comes up over, I kind of leg in. Sometimes the candle is not closed yet. All right, but I see price breaking over the top of that red candle, so I'll start legging in as price pulls back, kind of add a few more as it gets lower. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 candles to finally produce a candle that is up and closes over the red candle. Okay, you'll see sometimes it'll poke it and pull back. Sometimes you'll see price action just rip over the top of it. And then you don't want to be chasing it. So that's how I trade. I do a lot of averaging down to get my cost basis in a position where I can benefit and make money on a 3-bar rally on the 10-minute chart. All right, so if there's any questions, I'll take questions. If there's none, I'm just going to go ahead and render my video. I'm expecting more consolidation today. We'll see what happens. All right, again, they did make a higher high. I'm looking for the higher low, but I haven't seen it yet. Okay, I haven't seen it yet. They did make the higher low, so I think I like what I'm seeing here. The consolidation underneath that anchored VWAP, getting on top, consolidating there, and now you can see we're leaning on the recent highs right here. That's bullish. So I would think we're probably coming up to maybe this all-time high anchored VWAP. That's 549.50 right there. So there's 549.50 is on the table, and that is the all-time high anchored VWAP. We'll see what happens. All right, right now it's looking good. I like the consolidation. Recently we went up there and we ripped away. Went up there and fell away. But this time when we fell, we made a higher low. All right, so now I'm looking for that higher high. And that would definitely be the first target or the final target, depending on how long it takes them to get there. it might take them all day to move $2. We'll see what happens.